Talked about how Kobold's conquest is slowly taking over the southern land. Because when your babies are this cute, you gotta feed them. We discovered how the 10 hells are able to make the perfect breeding machines in the Brimborn to intoxicate any man. And also, we're not gonna showcase the male Brimborns because I'm not trying to get another strike. But in the lore of my mangas, y'all have asked me the big question. Will dragons be in the mating manual, and how do they mate? And you can thank the patriot of Plain Doctor who picked the Blitz dragon, and then Vegeta, the pug he is, picked traditional. So what is the difference between a traditional dragon and a Blitz dragon? And traditional dragons are what you would expect from Chinese and European folklore. They include both the traditional dragons that we're using and the long-bodied dragons. But Blitz dragons are the true manifestation of a magical creature. They are literally built for magic, and they don't fly by flapping their wings. They're like jets, in the sense that they use magic to pull air into their wings and shoot it back out. So for all my dragon lovers out there is what we're gonna call you, but we know what you really are. Can you breed with them? And also, how do they reproduce? And we already know by the existence of creatures like Rebecca the Red, Trine the Black, and Nadia that humans and dragons can reproduce. And those offspring are called Drakeen. And as my observant little viewers, you might have noticed that different Drakeens have different amounts of features, such as Rebecca had claws, she had horns, she had draconic feet, whereas Nadia had scales, she had a tail, she had wings, but Trine does not have wings. And that's because dragons have something called wildcard DNA, which means that it's not necessarily consistent on what they will get. There are some Drakeens out there that literally have draconic faces. But how do creatures like this end up with something like this? Because either way, something's not fitting right. Well, in one of three ways, dragons actually do have humanoid forms that once they reach adolescence, they stabilize in that form. So they can go between their dragon form and a human form, and if they are magic casters, they can then learn spells to shapeshift even further. And as you might notice here, Lithoria looks human, but Igni looks like a dwarf. And that's because they're not limited to the race that they can turn into. So for dragons in method number 1 in the mating manual, the simple answer is that they literally just do it like normal people. If you're meeting a dragon in the dragon havens such as Bayshire, holy city of the goddess of void Cypher, which will be making her grand appearance in the next chapter of the Devil's Deal, where she's facing off against the goddess of death, Reaper, or Mount Moltra, which is overseen by the spirit of fire and metal, Igni, the dating cultures are going to be vastly different because that is a dragon haven, opposed to just rarely finding one of the dragons hidden throughout the world. But Mark 2, which is a lot like what you're probably requesting, normal sized person to big dragon. Let me just be honest, you're not a Brimborn. You're not meant to mate with all of this. You're not meant to see some random creature be like, hey, I can take that. Best case scenario, this is you before you get to make a baby. And that can go male or female depending on if the dragon is swinging both ways or one side of the story. Or you're about to be looking like Anva, the mother of doors, when she fought the Titan, except you ain't walking in with a big stick for this big mama. Plain and simple, you're gonna get your feelings hurt through method 2. But the cool thing is, for the guys, if you still get the liquid in, you might get a soda out. But for the women, if you just get gushered on like a fire hydrant, you might still walk out with the prize. So option 2 is possible, but a lot more dangerous. Method 3 is actually kind of diabolical. But remember when we were talking about Trine and Nadia? The cool thing is they have something in common. They were both born through the third method. Fun fact about Trine, she's actually a warlock for Cypher. But there are rituals that you can perform with dragon corpses to impregnate yourself, or to impregnate a dragon's corpse. Yeah, I literally just said what I said. Because of the wild DNA in dragon corpses and through magical rituals, you can actually transfer DNA back and forth. The difference between the two is Nadia was birthed through the corpse of her sun dragon mother, whereas Trine was birthed by using Baltron the Black's body to impregnate a woman. And that's how they brought the savior of the East into the world. Those are the 3 normal ways that you can end up with a Drakeen. But in the mating manual, we're going to dive into not only how you can get a Drakeen, but how you can get to the point of getting a Drakeen, if you know what I mean. But join the Ruby Gold Guild if you'd like to give feedback on the development and see sneak peeks, or get an original character in the series by grabbing a gold. You can read all my series online for free, and they are not Gooner bait. They are actually dark fantasy stories. Like you see, it's so wholesome and Gooner free. It's even got Death Knights in it. So see the bio or description to join the Discord for 18+, or read them for free.